Hey everybody, it's Chad Hyams here again for our next Life Spark video. And boy, I got a special guest for you today. Lesley Williams is someone that I have known for years through the real estate industry is how we met. And she has been in leadership for over a decade, helping others grow to their potential. You know, I feel about that word potential, yet that's not important. She helps people actually achieve it. So Lesley, you are here with everybody. What is the Life Spark message you want to share?
Well, you know what, Chad, from the first time that you mentioned the Life Spark series, I remember texting you right away and saying the first thing that came to mind for me was, if you're going to tell a story, make it a good one. And so specifically, when I look at that, there are a lot of different ways to interpret it. However, I look at what are all of the stories that we are constantly telling ourselves on a daily basis. And some of those stories are about ourselves, some are about others. But recently, I've really had some, I don't know, awakenings, I guess you would call it, relative to that, in terms of looking at what is it that, you know, I'm capable of or not. I'm constantly telling myself, or I used to be, now I'm not, I used to be telling myself that, hey, you know what, these guys are really killing it over here, and wow, I wish I was that disciplined. I'm not that disciplined. I'm not that structured.
Sure.
I switched that story in my mind to be, you know what, I'm as disciplined as I need to be when I know what my priorities are or when I'm committed. And what that's caused me to do in my life is actually to get more purposeful. And now the evening time before my next day, I'm actually structuring and prioritizing and committing to my goals, which is causing me to get much more disciplined. And therefore, you know, it's, again, I'm becoming that story. You know, and I look at it at twofold. There's the stories we tell ourselves about us. There's the stories we tell ourselves about other people. And so the one other piece of that too, relative to other people, I mean, we're constantly judging other people, whether we think we are or not, you know. But one that hit home for me a couple of years ago was actually one with my mother. And so when we talk about not just Life Spark in our business, but in our relationships, I was raised by a single working mom as an only child. And my mother working, she was not very social. I mean, when she wasn't working, she was hauling me around to sports games and things of that nature. And for years and years and years, I thought that I could never please her because no matter what I did, she was complaining about something. So I thought, you know, I was just the burden of everything for her. 2 years ago, anyway, she got sick. I moved her to Florida, all kinds of things. But one Thanksgiving, I have her over, and she's complaining about everything. And I darn near broke down at that moment. And I said, you know, if you want to go back to Michigan all by yourself, you know, I'll send you back. And she said, oh my God, why would you think that? And I said, well, you just never seem happy. You're always, you know, you're always complaining. You're always miserable. And I don't think there's anything I can do to change that. And she said, well, no, you're not supposed to. She said, you know, all these years, I thought you were great. You've done everything you could. You've gone above and beyond, and you're more than what any daughter ever could be. I just complain to you because I've got no one else to complain to. And that was an aha moment for me,
Sure.
to say the least. So anyway, the stay in curiosity, that if we're going to tell ourselves stories, make it a good one. Just look the positive. You know, everybody is going through something. And if we look to make it a good story, we're going to end up, you know, in a much better place.
That is a great lesson to share with everybody, Lesley. Thank you very much. Yes, if we're going to read a book, you want to read a good one. So you might as well write a good story for people to be able to read and remember how other people might be reading your story. Lesley, thank you so much for sharing that with everybody today, sharing your story. Keep writing a great one. We'll be watching.
Thanks, Chad.